Hey there, VCE students. My name's Andy. I'm a VCE Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're going to look at the subjective nature of health and wellbeing. This is relevant to Unit 1 and Unit 3 HHD for the 2025 to 2029 HHD study design. As you can see here, there's a range of ways you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. We've got an Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook page, so you can follow us and get alerts to new videos and other opportunities. We've also got our email there, info@thehrh.net.au, if you'd like to get in touch. So what parts of the course does the subjective nature of health and wellbeing relate to? So for Unit 1, you can see the key knowledge and key skill that this relates to. So you can see there first, the key skill is describe the subjective nature of health and wellbeing, and that's associated with the key knowledge youth and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives on health and wellbeing, and we'll talk about how they're linked in a moment. As I've said in previous videos, key skills, I guess, are the ways in which you're being encouraged to put that key knowledge into action. So what you need to be able to do with the key knowledge in the HHD course. For Unit 3, you can see the key knowledge point talks about the concepts of health and wellbeing, illness, and the dynamic and subjective nature of these concepts. So we're focusing on the subjective nature of health and wellbeing here, not necessarily illness. We'll do that in a different video. And then the Unit 3 key skill, explain the dynamic and subjective nature of the concepts of health and wellbeing and illness. So what does that term subjective mean? So you can see there and mentions that it means the idea that health and well-being can be viewed differently by one person compared to another person. So how health and well-being might be viewed by one individual can be quite different to what it means or how it's viewed by another. And so there are a range of different factors that can influence this. And so it might be things related to your age or your culture or your life experiences. And so in relation to what I just mentioned before, this is relevant in Unit 1 when it's talking about youth and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's perspectives on health and wellbeing and how those influences might mean that some individuals or groups in society might view health and wellbeing differently from others. And so essentially in Unit 3 as well, it's asking you to understand the idea that health and wellbeing is subjective, that people can view it in different ways. And so you can see here on this slide in the boxes there in that sort of yellow and blue color, I've given a couple of examples. So let's touch on these just to sort of flesh out what we're talking about. So when you're giving an example of the subjective nature of health and wellbeing, you might like to link it to a specific dimension. And so that's what I've done in these examples here. So the first one says there, an older person may consider good health and wellbeing as the absence of any chronic disease and the ability to live independently and look after themselves without help from others, whereas a younger person may view good health and wellbeing as high levels of physical fitness and having a healthy body weight. So that example there is kind of linking into that physical dimension of health and wellbeing, whereas the second one there is talking about one person may consider having a large group of close old high school friends that they see regularly as good social health and well-being, whereas another person may consider having two close work friends who they go away with on a weekend twice a year as having good social health and well-being. So essentially it's giving sort of specific examples, dimensions, and showing how they can be viewed differently, okay, by different individuals and what it might mean to have good, say, social health and well-being or physical health and well-being or just health and well-being in general can be viewed differently by different individuals. And so that's why it's subjective. Different people, okay, view health and well-being in different ways. So you can see here, this is just a bit of an infographic or a smart art image just to give you that sense that there are these different sort of, I guess, factors that all culminate in why or how some people might view health and well-being as a different thing to others, and that's why it's subjective. And so here's a sample question and answer. So the sample question there is saying, considering health and well-being is subjective, outline how age could influence how physical health and well-being is viewed. So you can see there with this question, okay, you need to focus on the fact that the factor they're kind of focusing on is age, and then linking that to physical health and well-being and how that's subjective. And so in the sample answer there, it says youth might view being able to play sport regularly and being free from illness and disease as having good levels of physical health and well-being. So you can see there in that sort of sample, I've linked into some specific sort of aspects or characteristics of physical health and well-being, so free from illness, as well as they're linking into good levels of physical health and well-being. Whereas an older adult might view being able to complete daily tasks around their home, being able to walk to and from the nearby shops without being out of breath as having good levels of physical physical health and well-being. So you can see there that we're sort of using that example of youth and an older adult, and then linking into different aspects of physical health and well-being. So free from illness and being able to play sport regularly. You could even link in their high fitness levels. And then talking about the older adult is really looking at those completion of daily tasks, walking to and from the shops without being out of breath, as good levels of physical health and well-being. So contrasting that they're just viewing, okay, physical health and well-being differently, and it's probably this factor of age that might have influenced that. Okay, hopefully you found this video useful. Just a reminder, I've worked with ACE on this new revision questions book for 2025 to 2029 HHD study design, units 3 and 4. So it's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions, ideal for getting ready for your SAC and then of your exam. It also has a full chapter on extended response questions. So you can head to book.acevce.com to place an order for that, and copies are going to post daily. You can also see down the bottom of the slide there, we've got a free student newsletter I'm sending out twice a term that's got free SAC and exam tips and advice and resources. So you can head to our website to sign up for that. And also on our website, there's opportunities for students and teachers. So you can go there and check those out. Thanks so much.